Welcome back. 2023 NXL Windy City Major. This is going to be a good set. We're here in the prelims. It's going to be the Hurricanes taking on AC Diesel. Hurricanes undefeated 2-0, and AC Diesel 1-1. Also in this set, Infamous, they're sitting at 1-1. And San Diego Aftermath, they need a win. They're 0-2 yesterday. And thank you guys so much for joining us here a little outside of Chicago for the Windy City Major. Blessed to have Drew Templeton, all-star player back in the day, still crushing it on the 10-man field, and the owner and founder of Paintball Vault. We're going to be talking about that. And also got Isaac Barrow up here, a championship paintball player himself. Jumping into this first point here, see there, AC Diesel from the blue side. We're looking over their shoulders, and they're going to be gliding a body into the snake here off the break. Ref went in there to check him out. Looks like he's clean. This is, if you are just joining us for the first time, a snake-dominant field. But, man, that D-side has been highly effective out here this weekend. This is a pretty traditional field. Hurricanes moving into position. They also have Nick Ripple into Snake 1, so both teams mirrored up here in the Snake. Oh, lots of pressure being put by both of these teams on these front players. And looks like a good, solid 5-on-5 break here, Isaac.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these teams are using these kind of three spots on the snake side, putting a lot of pressure. You know, you have a guy heads down in the snake, and you have both of these wedges shooting down on them. You know, you got the guys in the snake playing aggressive, and you got the guys ready to, you know, fill in case something wild happens.
Drew, this would have been a really good field for you back in the day.
I mean, seeing a snake like this is fun because, you know, a traditional ladder snake really shows the aggressive player's aggression. You know, people are, you know, you got Billy yesterday, you know, feasting. You got people doing really well just because it's a, you know, traditional snake. Crawl down and, you know, shoot people.
The Hurricanes filtering a body out to that crucial white bunker in the back corner bunker on the snake side. The Landry Logistics bunker. Just such a crucial gunfighting position here. Nick Ripple going to be crawling up. You can see his teammate camp beside him. Ripple going to do a slight reposition. Drew, you think he knows that body's at the Goose Island brick?
Yeah, Kyle shot at him, and you know, he was pointed out, but I don't know if he shot him. But what's tough now is Kyle's in a position where if Ripple is able to move up, Kyle's, you know, in a really tough spot. So that's kind of the trade you're making going to that 50 brick, is that, you know, you might get the beat on him, but if you miss him, you're now in a position where you can crawl up one knuckle and get you.
This morning, people are starting to play that brick a little bit more than we saw him play it yesterday. It was played yesterday a decent amount, but it's becoming almost a go-to play here on day 2.
Yeah, those wedge guys kind of need somewhere to go, right? After that, there's not many spots for them to keep moving forward at, but...
Body coming off in the backfield here for the Hurricanes. Might have been BJ Henningberg getting up into notch 2 of the snake. And he's now gunned up down the sideline just in case Ripple wants to get crazy. But Kyle's protecting him right now. He has a back player behind him, and he has Kyle Spica at that brick. So Nick Ripple is in a little bit of a tough position here. He's got a body in front of him. He's got that body inside with Kyle Spica to worry about at the Goose Island brick. And then also, I think that's Mouse in the back corner bunker. Mouse is a little bit of a back problem right now. He hurt his back a little bit. He's not sure exactly what's wrong. He's going to gut through and play with it, though. But they chose to send BJ Henningberg as the first attacker on the Snakes. I heard BJ crushed it at practice, so that's not a surprise. Now, Ripple does have Camp at the wedge. Here comes Kyle Spica, going to make a move, cuts to the inside, and blasts Daniel Camp and stays alive. Beautiful move from Kyle Spica.
Yeah, that's great to stay alive there with him looking that way.
Yeah, I don't think that Nick knows Kyle's on their side. Kyle Spica trying to find the seam here.
Yeah, he just shot the corner.
Yeah, he's in such a crucial position. Kyle had a real good day yesterday for AC Diesel, and that's going to force a concession as another body had dropped from that back corner bunker. So excellent play by Henningberg, Kyle Spica, and the rest of the boys from AC Diesel. I think that might have been a perfect point because, yeah, Clint Johnson's still alive, Baginski alive. Isaac, did you see Mouse drop out of that back corner bunker at all?
No, he stayed alive, and it looked like a really even matchup in the beginning. I thought, you know, this was a good indicator of it being a slug match, but Kyle kind of made it happen, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was, I mean, we're giving away $500 courtesy of Pate Smith Law. There was a lot of nice. This is a field that's produced a lot of big dynamic moves. And he didn't get a ton of kills out of there, but it was perfectly executed, and he had to do some work for that one. Sometimes you'll see a guy when no one's shooting at you. I mean, Mouse had a bunch of these yesterday. A bunch of guys did where no one's shooting at you. You run down, shoot 4 bodies, but the work you did for that was literally just to run down the field and pull your trigger.
Right.
Kyle had to work for that one.
Another even breakout, both in the snake.
Yeah, Jonah Jamro's getting in the snake here. So these are your boys, Drew. This is your former team right here, Los Angeles Infamous.
Yeah, got some guys that have joined the squad since I've departed a few years ago, and then some guys that are still on the team. But know all these guys really well. Still play 10-man with all these guys. great group.
Yeah, I saw you down there helping in the pits. It did, I mean, a little bit of a back and forth day for Infamous, but I thought, honestly, your results didn't really show how well I thought the team was playing the field.
Yeah, agreed. And, Red Legion can be, have hit or miss tournaments lately, and I feel like they're playing a little bit better this event than they have.
Drops too.
Yeah, a couple bodies dropping here for Aftermath. The snake side is completely blown open here for Jonah Jamrose, so he's going to get on his stomach and crawl up. He's going to post up all the way into Snake 1 on Aftermath's side. Still a couple bodies on that D side. Could be some free kills for him, but looks like Brusselback's going to launch, and he's going to get himself a nice little two-pack.
Great move, Tim.
Yeah, that was nice to kind of split the scene like that.
You guys know what's interesting is both these matches we just watched, no one got shot off the break, and I feel like yesterday we were seeing a lot more of that.
As Isaac, I agree. It was a bit of a bloodbath, particularly afternoon off the break. This morning also, because it's Drew, we're not in your exact. I mean, it's, Chicagoland area is huge. We're a little south of Chicago, but this is a little chilly for this time of the year for you guys, right?
Yeah, this time of year is it's just intermittent. It can be 100 degrees or it can be even colder than this. So, it's tuning up to be some good paintball weather, but yeah, a little bit chillier today for sure.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is that if you're, the paint manufacturers have lots of different lots, but if you're thinking, okay, we're going to Chicago late summer, it could be 100 degrees with 60% humidity, or it could be 55 when you wake up in the morning and have to go play. So, Isaac, as far as like shooting bodies on the break, I think when it warmed up a little bit yesterday afternoon, paint got a little bit more dialed for the conditions. And then so this morning, we'll see. There's a lot more paintball to play this morning, but yeah, it's been a little bit more 5-on-5 out here in this set, particularly.
Well, paint's not breaking, and doesn't look like people are getting bounced, so... maybe people are just tired.
Maybe they didn't have their coffee. Don't have the shots quite dialed in yet.
Well, after day one, you also kind of, fine-tune your routes and everything, because every layout's going to have its little nuances. So you have your practice routes that might have worked, and then you're out here and you really start to dial it in. So the fact that people are still pushing Snake on the break and still going to certain spots, it's because they're comfortable doing it,
Absolutely. So see if the Hurricanes can step it up right here, looking to the pits with Infamous. There's that starting line for the Hurricanes. Beautiful job yesterday for the Canes. 2-0, undefeated. And they're a little beat up. Talked to Mike Bianca, their coach. He said, I got a lot of guys that are at about 70% right now. No Stuart Ridgel, still dealing with an ankle problem. And he's one of their, kind of big players up the middle. Lucky for the Hurricanes, though, this isn't that much of a middle field. It's more Snake and D-side. Henningberg right back at it here to the 50-yard line. Might have got clipped, though, as he came across, and he did. So, but also looks like Diesel going to be losing another body from that D side. So 2 bodies dropping early here for AC. Hurricanes have a chance to tie this up. Looking over their shoulders here from the blue side of the field is Nick Ripple has been one of those guys. I think he's been shot one time trying to get into the Snake all day yesterday. Might have been another time, but he's been one of those guys that this is when I'll say they might as well just let Nick start in Snake 1. Because he's just omnipresent in that Snake for the Hurricanes.
So Ripple doesn't have a back guy right now. He's kind of working alone in the Snake. He's got the corner guy to contend with. Let's see if he can get down this thing.
Yeah, they're just biding their time, shooting some lanes right now. Body language from the Hurricanes doesn't really, at least not for Ripple, but everyone else is kind of just chilling on their spots. Ripple does move up into that Snake true to try to rip a lane cross field, but with a body advantage here, with a 2-body advantage actually, and down a point, Hurricanes want to be careful, but it is up to them to push forward here into these 3 guns AC Diesel.
Yeah, and Kyle might have just kind of lost his opportunity to go underneath. You got Drew Bell now on the 50 and pushing up another side. Oh, but great move by Kyle. Caught him in the pin. It's in a bad spot.
Yeah, Bell's in a tough position right now, trying to live by it. He's not a small guy, and that is not a big bunker. Gunfighting mightily, though. Gets the drop in on Spica.
Nice.
I was going to get... Oh, he doesn't even... Goes right past the wedge to try to trade out with that back corner, but that's fine, man. But this is not 10-man, right? Bodies don't mean anything. Nope. We're not counting points for bodies, so if you're in a good position and you're in a high body moment, yeah, go run that guy down.
Yeah, and there was an opportunity there after BJ was shot where, you still have Kyle and Mouse in there to fill the Snake, and they had their brief moment to get back in it, but, Drew Bell saw that they weren't pushing it, and he took advantage of that, went up the middle, and kind of shut it down.
Yeah, Hurricanes answering the call. Started with those off-the-break shots, and we're going to see the next line here come out for Infamous. This is also interesting, too, for Travis, because, again, this is a good problem to have, but because almost everyone on the roster is playing real well, so, and he's been getting a lot of guys spins. How is he figuring out playing time right now?
I mean, I think he's just big on kind of equal opportunity. He knows that if everybody is playing well, that's a good problem to have, right? So everybody's staying fresh. You're giving other teams new looks constantly. So it's not just plugging in every player, but you've got players that are able to play different roles in the field. So you add all those combos up, and it's a good situation for a coach.
It's making you guys harder to scout, that's for sure. Looks like Zach Patient going to be going Snake off the break. He played great yesterday. And he's going to get into Snake 1. He's going to ask for a check, though. Looks like he did get center punched, but they might have shot the first attacker over here, Snake side, for Aftermath as Castro takes the walk. So 4-on-4.
Zach running a different route to the Snake than a lot of the other players, maybe just trying to test it out, but catching it.
Nice fill from Callie Rudolph, get up to the wedge, as they already have the wedge. Infamous has the wedge on the D side, looking like he wants to go. That's Sam Silberg, making a nice little move up into inside D4 as they shoot another body off that D side. 3-on-4 situation in favor of Infamous, trying to stack up on this 1-point lead they got.
Joe Barrett's been doing a great job of getting out of this corner, controlling that side and communicating. I had never played with him until last 10-man, but he's a great teammate, good team vibe, and a good communicator, and just a solid player.
Yeah, Joe's a smart guy, good dude, hell of a paintball player, but his timing is really good. That's what makes him really good. And then, we know Joe pretty well, and he's been around for a couple years. One of the things he did need, say 2 years ago, was a little bit more offense. And then he showed he has that too. He kind of came up to us and was like, hey, I'm going to show you the offense. And we're like, okay, let's see it, kid. And he did show us that he can also play offensive. And sure enough, he gets a nice fill out and then a nice fill up. And now he's in Snake 2 looking good. And
Thomas filling back.
That's Callie.
Oh, it's Callie.
Yeah, big backfill from Callie. He's going to get behind Barrett.
Which is a great move, because losing Zach, if Joe were to get shot right there and Callie's in the wedge, they're in a really bad spot. So great move by Callie to kind of back up Joe down the tape.
Yeah, so with these 4-on-3 situation, with a good crossfield spread for Aftermath, though. They have D2 back center and then the Landry Logistics back bunker. Oh, I think Callie might have just won that gunfight down the sideline. That's about as close as it gets. I saw something spray off. It might have just hit the edge of the bunker right there, but player himself actually checked himself, and was that me or the bunker? I don't think it was the bunker.
Well, it forced him to switch his gun, which allows Joe to get down the Snake here.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. I mean, it's just, Callie's job right now is to control that guy and let Joe go to work. Talk to Joe. Don't let that guy poke out the side and catch Joe when he's moving up, and then let Joe slowly but surely make his. I mean, it's a ladder snake. It runs the entire length of the field. You have a lead, so Callie doing a really good job of controlling this back player here for Aftermath.
See if Joe can shoot the back center. If he looks like he missed them, but if he can go one more knuckle, he's in a good situation here. Breaking a little bit of paint, unfortunately. It's not what as a front guy, you don't want to be doing that.
No. That's why you got the swab in your pocket. So Barrett's gonna swab his gun, try to get a more accurate shot here. Nice little head check to establish. Make sure there's no paint in the air. And really put a lot of pressure. Ooh, did he get him?
No, it doesn't look. Looks like it's just kind of spraying off the bunker there. Oh, he's called out.
Well, that's the blessing of having the 50-yard line on the D side and past the 50 on the Snake side, because that back bunker.
Big run by Aftermath.
It's a nice move.
Side.
He gets, and he stays alive, so he gets the drop in on Ryan Hall. Callie tells Barrett to switch his gun. Callie has to live on this side of the bunker now, so he's in a pretty treacherous position. And Barrett doesn't have the best ankle from this position because that D side's completely blown open. So Barrett's gonna go coast to coast, the big run here.
Great move.
Oh, that was perfect. Gets the drop on that back corner bunker.
Oh, Callie dies, one-on-one.
Yeah, Barrett is right by the buzzer, though. So the goal in this is to hit the buzzer on your opponent's start station, not just to shoot everybody. So Barrett's just going to bide his time and just perfectly played point there by Joe Barrett. That's about as good as it's going to get. He earned that one.
Absolutely. He recognized that the Aftermath Snake corner player, was sort of relying on the on his teammate on their side of the field to sort of win the point, so he didn't over battle down the wire. Joe recognizes that and says, I'm just going to go get him.
Oh, that was Grayson Gladstone over there. It was a great move by Grayson. Barrett just played it a little bit quicker. He was in the better position and he executed. So Infamous going to take a 2-point lead. There's Barrett on your screen. Let's listen in real quick.
Hey, but vibe that if you want to do that. Hey, we gotta wait Joe you can.
How we lose that many guys?
You lost Zach on the break. Hey, next point, Joe.
I know that. But we're 43.
Sam died wrapping around the
I was wondering the same thing. I was like, where'd that fourth body go?
Grayson went NASCAR on the other side and bunkered Ryan.
Yep. Ryan, if Callie's over me, you gotta play heads up and you gotta call. He left from 100.
Someone wipe Joe down.
About to jump into point number 3 here. All tied up. Hurricanes 1, Diesel 1. Diesel on the blue side, Hurricanes on the red side. These teams switch points if a point is won. If there's a no point, which does happen occasionally, then they will stay on the same side. 9:24 to go. You see our eye in the sky. Both teams getting into the snake. Snake 2 for AC Diesel. Snake 1 for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes going to bump out and up into that wedge. And then now move on the D side for Diesel. They already have that back corner bunker D side now, trying to get some forward penetration, getting out into outside D2. It's Henningberg again in the snake. So I think with Mouse's back tight, again, was a little injured yesterday, but playing through it, I think we're going to see a steady dose of BJ as the 1, at least until Mouse gets warmed up a little bit. That's kind of what he was talking to me about before their game.
Yeah, you got Mark walking down the Doritos a lot from the middle, which is interesting, but you got Drew Bell doing the same thing from that center stand-up.
Yeah, we are seeing, again, the plays are going to evolve slightly as these teams are starting to master this field. But we're starting to, nice move by BJ, but I think Camp might have picked him up. Major penalty, so Camp had his gun at the right time. BJ Henningberg, major penalty assessed. It's going to pull out Johnson. And Jesse Stevens, new pickup for AC, coming over from X Factor, and that leaves just 2 bodies. So here comes a big fill from Baginski. He tries to he actually gets stopped, forced to stop in that back center. Back center actually has a legit amount of shots, but yeah, trying to do damage control, but forced to concede. Actually, I think Ice was in D2. I think that was Nico Hyde actually trying to do damage control. Regardless, a little bit of a gift here for the Hurricanes. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks for being their sophomore year in the pro bracket. Hurricanes are really calm and confident in the pit. They take a lot of time to connect with one another, talk about the play, and get on the same page, which of course is essential. But Coach Mike Bianca said they're getting good shots, they're playing their game, which is slow and controlled. However, he feels that AC Diesel, maybe not in that last point, but is beating them to the secondary fills. So they are trying to improve that here.
Okay, jumping into this next. Thank you, Lauren. Jumping into a do-or-die moment already for Aftermath. They dropped 2 games yesterday. They're down by 2 here to Infamous. It's a young, hungry, talented squad, putting in a lot of work. As their owner, Mr. Woodruff, has his own paintball field. He owns a paintball field, so that's always nice when your owner has a paintball field to play at. So they've been grinding, but just a little too much individual play, not talking it up enough. And right now, Infamous is controlling the snake. So
4-on-5. Aftermath lost their snake guy off the break here. And Infamous is in their snake 3.
Gladstone going to backfill out into D2, makes it clean. He's got a back player behind him. Try to get a little bit of a safer position as Jonah Jamrose is on their side of the field. Trying to shoot that bounce shot right now off the pin. Every field has some bounce shots. Some are more potent than others. Only really saw 1, maybe 2 work out yesterday.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be as many, super effective ones like there has been on previous layouts.
Well, Joey Blute was up here before. He said, because I asked him how the bounce shots were, and he said, well, they're not that great because everyone's shooting super fragile paint. It's a little cold out here this morning. Yeah, in practice, when you're shooting marbles at each other, the bounce shots seem to work a lot better. But then you come to the tournament and you're shooting, the thinnest shell possible. They don't work as good. But they're still there, and that's what Aftermath was attempting here, because Jonah's in a really good spot, and you can see the pressure that they're just putting on Aftermath. They're going to lose that back center. Everyone just tucked in their spot, worried about Jonah. Let's see Infamous filter up the field here with all this pressure being put towards Jamrose, and Nate Schrader's going to glide right into that 50-yard line on the D side.
Yeah, Zach trying to, make Jonah aware that he's basically has the wire to himself. I think Zach's trying to push him up.
It's also really crucial because you got your head down in the snake as Aftermath going to be forced to concede once the body came off. There's still 2 bodies left alive. But Coach had seen it. Coach Ramirez had seen enough. But yeah, that back bunker, so crucial because you got your head down in the snake. If you're Jonah, I mean, you really need some calm, some communication, letting you know where those remaining bodies are. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Yeah, going into this point, the Hurricanes coach said the most important thing for his players to remember is that AC Diesel is trying to get a second body on that Dorito side. So he told Camp to really play with his head on a swivel.
Oh yeah, head on a swivel. Very important.
And you really see how multifaceted some of these front players are when you have a corner like that you need 1 to 2 speed to make. And then you get out there and you see how well they can support players and play a role that's not just a traditional, 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It is interesting, too, because the game has gotten where versatility is more important than it's ever been. Because everyone watches every single point you play and scouts it. I mean, going back, say, 10 years ago, guys had a little bit more defined roles than we do now. I mean, versatility's always been good. But yeah, and then even guys bouncing back between, sometimes they'll play the 1, sometimes they'll play the 2. That means the first attacker, second attacker, and then the second and third attacker sometimes switch up too. So again, you want to have a different look, as many differing looks as possible. So when your opponents are about to play, you're not like, yeah, this is definitely, they're running this play 90% of the time. This is who goes here, and here's his tendencies. Looks like we have a little bit of technical timeout here.
And sometimes, Maddie, those situations are forced, right? Like with Mouse, like everyone's expecting Mouse to just destroy things on this field because there's a long snake, right? And he's injured, so he has to go to the basically a 2 spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you have a guy like Mouse on your squad that's that lethal, arguably the best snake player ever, definitely in the past decade, you got to kind of have that, real conversation with, like, how good are you? I mean, how good is your body right now? How bad is the back?
Yeah.
You feel like you can play the back corner? Because if we do well enough, we make it on Sunday, we're going to need you then. So it's just a tough conversation because you got to get to Sunday, and they're down J-Rab.
Yeah, then you've got players that are, that good that even at 80% or
yeah, you still take Mouse.
Yeah, that's
an
good. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. But that's when you're trying to figure out 50%, 80%. Where are you at? It's because I'll still take you at 50.
Hurricanes drop 1, 4, 5.
Oh, BJ getting shot as he tries to come around.
And that's the second time that AC's had the wire and BJ feels confident crawling up. But what's tough is even though it's a ladder, all the knuckles aren't necessarily directly down a line, so it's hard to control the wire,
And to see if your opponent's posted or not.
100%.
Depending on where you're at. But yeah, the knuckles are slightly inset. It's not quite perfectly down the line. The little wedges are a little bit out more. So if you're at Snake 2, you can see down the line. You're at Snake 1, visibility not as good. That's why that back bunker is so crucial. Nick's going to backfill a little bit. Nick Ripple here for the Hurricanes go to the back edge of the Snake as Spica gets to the insert bunker Snake side. Jesse Stevens is playing that back corner bunker behind him. And yeah, mostly just all the back spots after the death of BJ. No forward progression here for AC.
Yeah, good backfill from Kyle to come back to know that he's going to need to go down the Snake after losing BJ.
Yeah, again, Diesel is down a point, and they have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to work with, so that is not a terrible position to be in. But it is going to be up to you to push forward at some point in time. So bide your time right for the right moment, but it does have to happen because the Hurricanes, they're great at this. Drew, I don't know how much Hurricanes paintball you've seen the past 2 seasons. They just got here. But they're getting really good at this. They kind of play like damage a little bit. They'll play aggressive, they'll go up points, and then they'll take some spots. They're not going to hide in all the back bunkers, but they're really good at control. They make very few mistakes. They've made every Sunday this year. They're ranked 7th overall. It's been really impressive to see them in their sophomore season be this good already.
Yeah, I mean, they caught your eye early, right? Even their first season, I remember, they're beating teams like Heat. They're beating great teams, and they're being really consistent, so it's hard not to notice them right away.
Yeah, so again, undefeated yesterday for the Hurricanes. Diesel 1-1, so Diesel really wants to win this one. Kyle has made some nice moves here. He's at Snake 2, peeking around. He's thinking about moving up. Ripple is posted on that line, and Ripple just missed his shot. That was a slightly scary situation there for Kyle, but he made it in clean.
Highway gets Kyle clean.
And stays alive, yeah. So he stays alive, almost takes out the bunker on his forward progression, but who cares? He's alive, and then Pate dives right into the snake behind him. Yeah, this is another good look here for the Hurricanes as Bell's going to join him up at that Goose Island 50 brick. So Drew, we were talking about how on this particular layout, it's not just about your snake player, it's about your snake package. It's about what 3 bodies are you going to be bringing to bear out here, and how well do they all play together? How good is the lines of communication back and forth? Is your front player willing to make moves that are creative, like Nick Ripple just did in a tough spot against a real good enemy? Because sometimes, at least in these layouts we've had, sometimes it is just one guy in the snake. I mean, he's got a 2. It's more of like the 2, the 1 and the 2. But this one is just because it's just such a potent snake that you really need to have like 3 guys clocked in over here.
Agreed. Even one super dialed in, one can't do it by himself on this layout. You need all 3 guys. Even just a wire plus him, that middle guy's showing how important he is by applying that extra pressure and being able to be dynamic if they lose a guy.
So Bell going back and forth, trying to figure out how he can help Nick. Nick Ripple is still in this position on Diesel's side of the field. Diesel's just waiting for somebody on the Hurricanes to make a mistake because they are just kind of tucked into spots and can't really go anywhere right now. Bell's looking D side. Ripple's been posted up snake side.
And I haven't heard Diesel communicate that Ripple is in their wedge. I don't know. It looks like he knows he's there the way he's wrapping that Dorito. But when he ran highway, Clint was looking that way, but it didn't really look like he saw or shot at him. So we'll see.
Hurricanes filter a body that 50 on the D side. It's going to decrease the angles for those back players on AC trying to hold it down.
Looks like he's still able to wrap all the way around that Dorito.
Yeah, he's looking to make the next bump to shoot Ripple here. I think he's just a little unsure. You can lose guys on those Dorito side.
Well, if he's gone, it's a bad situation for AC.
Yeah, this is Sunday paintball right here. 2 really good teams with Sunday implications with just 3 minutes left. No one wants to make a mistake. Hurricanes trying to protect this lead, and they have a lot of the real estate. And then Diesel just kind of trapped in some rough positions right now. There's Jesse Stevens in the back corner bunker. You see all those pods on the ground around him. And AC is going to concede the point. So once Clint Johnson got shot, that was it.
Yep.
Even with the bodies left alive, with the full control. And this is what we were talking about this yesterday about the Hurricanes. They kind of just smother you. They don't make a lot of mistakes. That was a perfect point to exhibit that. They get in good spots. They don't give you much. And they kind of just smother you and force you to either try to get in a low percentage gunfight, make a low percentage move, or just forced to have to concede to preserve time. Now they'll be down 2. We're actually in the pits. Let's listen to Coach Bianca real quick.
He needs to be here in a little. He needs to be here. I can't be the best communicator up there. Yeah, but I'm just saying you need to know that your boys are alive behind you. Hey, I'm straight 43. Yeah. Hey, way to play. Let's get him more data. Start talking. Hey, Drew and Mike Brown, you guys have to connect better on that, okay?
That's great, man. Even though they won that point and they have a 2-point lead, they're still having constructive criticism in the pits, needing apparently more communication is what Coach Bianca was trying to say. Jumping back in this one, pretty big lead right now here for Infamous, up by 3, 7:45 to go.
3rd point in a row that Infamous has shot the Aftermath snake player on the break.
Yeah, on a snake dominant field, if you can do that 3 points in a row, that's ideal. That is absolutely ideal. And now they're going to get Jonah Jamrose. He's played so good for you guys this event.
He's a great player, and seeing him come up through the Midwest.
Minor penalty on Aftermath. Still making moves.
Yeah, and Jonah had to fight through some injuries too, so it's good to see him just chalking up kills crossfield here. Yeah, this is going to be a 4-point lead here for Infamous momentarily. Got a little bit of a gift on the penalty. Still got a little work to do, but it's just going to take them time to figure out where that last body is. And they shoot him out, going to force a concession, so Aftermath protecting that time. But yeah, it's starting to be a lot to none right now. 4-0 going to be the score. It is going to make it tough, though, if Infamous, if they win this match and make it to Sunday with everyone getting spins and playing well, it's going to make it hard for Travis to figure out who's going to be playing on Sunday. Again, that's a great problem to have. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Thanks. Mike Hinman was talking to Clint Johnson after that point, and he said, when you're in that position, you're down on bodies, you've got to try something. It's a game of checkers. He said, we're waiting for you to try to go get a kill, and the time is ticking off the clock, so you've got to try to make something happen, otherwise we're just wasting time.
No, he's not wrong. If you're a coach and you're in a low body, treacherous spot, you're thinking, okay, do I have to concede this in order to preserve us to get us back to 5-on-5? But if your guys are being proactive in that position, then you'll let them ride for a little bit. Give them another 20, 30 seconds, see if they can make some magic happen. But yeah, kind of forcing their hand in that last one. Well, jumping back in, they still have 2:27 to go. Houston Heat did score, I believe, a 12-second point yesterday. So that's what's possible out here as far as running a quick point. And Diesel has the wheels to do that. So. But with the 240, 235 when we started, I mean, that you could run 2 standard plays and not have to get too crazy out here. Looking over the shoulders for AC.
Hurricanes losing the body off the Dorito side.
Kyle's been doing damage in the middle. Looks like he's probing again to do something. And up to the Goose Island bunker again.
And sort of opposite of what Mark Johnson's saying in the pits, you've got Hurricanes who are up bodies and up a point last point, and you've got Nick Ripple that has the awareness to make a move aggressively to really, put the stake in the ground that they're going to win the point and make it harder. So you love seeing that even when they're up bodies.
Here comes a big push down the D side as 2 bodies come off for the Hurricanes. Oh, he's untouched. Oh, he might have got shot by his own guy. Nope, still alive. They caught a bouncer. He's going to get in, and he's hitting the buzzer, so they needed a quick one, and they got it. Nico Hyde, great job by Nico Hyde. Runs through, gets himself, I think, at least a 2-pack, maybe a 3-pack in a very crucial moment.
How long was that point, Matty?
Spica on the attack as well, too. That was about a 2-minute, maybe 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We had about 3, no, it was it 2:45, I think? I think we had like 2:45.
They need to do the next one a little bit faster to tie this game up.
Yeah, but 1:15 is, obviously, look, if quick points come from kills off the break. So with 1:15, see if you can get a heavy guns break, get a kill, but then wherever your strategy or wherever your personnel is, you're going to have to launch. At, I'd say, about 40, 30, 35, 40 seconds, you have to start committing to the big moves. So that's probably what we're going to see out of them here. And you got to, I mean, the whole team has wheels, so, some teams have more wheels than others as far as speed is concerned. And in that minute 15, you want to put out some guys that have some quickness. Like a Isaac or a Drew Templeton.
Yeah, you don't want guys in their bunker when the buzzer goes off.
No.
Want them running down.
Cardinals in a paintball
That's
is
right.
to be alive in your spot when you're down by 1 and the time expires.
Infamous definitely starting to run a few players, more than others. Kind of back to what you're saying of playing the whole roster. I've seen Joe out there a good bit. I think Jonah's starting to kind of get the line share over Zach and the Snake.
Jamrose quickly to their Snake 3.
Grayson consistently moving up. Jonah shooting him from the Snake, but he's consistently getting up that Dorito side.
Yeah, Grayson Gladstone taking the walk here for Aftermath, and that's not going to help them. He's one of their best players. Yeah, Infamous looking like 4-0. This next point here, looking great. Jamrose again in the Snake. He's kind of by himself, though. Doesn't have a back player behind him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Joe hasn't moved to the corner yet. He's usually pretty on top of the situations, but also you don't want to think, there he goes.
Well, he listened to you.
Yep.
Yeah, nice fill out here. Joe Barrett going to get behind Jonah Jamrose. And Jonah making the most of this awesome position he's in. Bodies are starting to drop here for Aftermath as they're trying to counter. Yeah, there goes another one. They're going to try to filter out. Back bunker here, Snake side. Ooh, barely made it out there. Nah, he got clipped. I was going to say, I thought I saw something break off of him.
And that's just tough, such a tough situation to come back from when you lose your whole Snake tape and they're doubled up on it. It's just so hard to get back out of that situation.
Yeah, it's one of, we start calling those desperation fills, because what are you going to do? If you hide in the middle, you're going to get shot. If you make it out, at least you have a chance. Yeah. You're losing the point anyway.
Like Hinman says, go do something.
Yeah, try to make something happen. But yeah, Jonah, very accurate and deadly out here. Good job by Barrett with them, and then also Nate Schrader on that D side, and Tim Brusselback. So controlled point from Infamous. They got Jonah in the snake, uncontested. Barrett waited a little bit, got out safe. I wouldn't even say slow played the D side because they have a huge lead, so no real reason to risk anything.
Yeah, that line with Nate and Tim is definitely being it's show. They're really aggressive on that side.
They are really, really great. It's good to see. Again, you see, been around for enough years. I would love seeing Nate Schrader back. It was fun to watch back in the day. Did you play with him on Vicious?
I did not, but I played a couple seasons with him on Infamous.
Okay.
Both seasons, unfortunately, he got injured.
Yeah.
So it's great to see him back in the mix because, yeah, he's a great teammate. He's a really great player. He's really unpredictable and can do really anything on the field. So
hyper aggressive. And then it's also good to see Brusselback find a home. He's been on some teams over the years. Really, really fast, aggressive player, and Travis gave him a chance, and he's making the most of it. So, yeah, they're looking great, man. Oh, Brett Messer's heated right now. Let's listen in. Oh, he missed it.
So it's been all Infamous, Maddie, and it looks like Aftermath is now playing the spread, right? Because they didn't pull the buzzer.
Yeah. Well, the tough thing for Aftermath is they're 0-2, about to go 0-3. Yeah, still think about the spread, but I mean, maybe every half decade a team gets in at 1-3. That's about it. It seriously is like once every 5 years.
Yeah.
A team will get in at 1-3. So has it happened? Yeah, sure. But we're talking about a tiny fraction of a percent of a chance if you go 1-3, and they still have to win the next game. So jumping into this next one here, much closer battle with just a minute left to go. Can AC summon the spirit and the speed to move the field in the next minute and 2 seconds? We will see. They get Jesse Stevens in the snake as we get to the minute mark, but the Hurricanes 5 alive, so no bodies coming off the break for AC, and they are still going to have to find a way to run into these guns. Yeah, Hurricanes just pumping paint right now. Just the tips of barrels and the edges of goggles. They do get a shot on Nick Ripple, though.
Yeah, on the crawl, Jesse Stevens shoots Nick, who's posted down the wire. Great job.
Yeah, huge play. This is Jesse Stevens' first tournament with his new team. Oh, they get a shot in on Bell as well. Not looking good here, snake side right now for the Hurricanes. They only need to hold on for another 25 seconds.
Looks like Kyle's going to make it happen. 20 seconds. And he unlocks it.
A little 2-pack run through. Let's see if it's clean. Doesn't look like any ref's going to throw a penalty. Are they going to get there in time? It looks like Nico Hyde going to hit the afterburners. Yeah, we got a tie game with 6 seconds left to go.
You think they just run out? They were going to run out the clock, right? Not going to play that.
Man, you'd be surprised past couple years. 6 seconds. I think they will. They'll go ask both teams. So, hey, you want to play it? Hey, you want to play it? And if they both agree to not, then they will move on and go to directly to overtime. I mean, the only thing, Heat has scored a 7-second point. The Legion has scored a 9-second point. So that's about the measure, though. I will always try to find a guy like Alex Skolman and be like, hey, gun to your head, how fast do you think you could run from start station to start station? Do you think you could do it in 5 seconds? So I'd think 6-7 seconds is about. Anything less than that, there's really no point. Because then it's kind of, the only thing that could happen is a major penalty.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can happen. So still a little bit more time left in this one, but unfortunately for Aftermath, Infamous just needs one more to get that Mercy Rule win.
Yeah, it's really going to work out in their favor. They needed a high spread after the loss to Red Legion yesterday.
Aftermath pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, Aftermath in some good spots. Looked like the body for Aftermath at the brick might have had that angle, but Nate just dove right through that lane. I don't think that guy was actually shooting his gun at that moment. Is that Nate? Like a little blocked out for D3.
I think so. Oh, no, Nate's in the tower,
hair.
so I think that was either Tim or Sam.
Yeah, Infamous just rolling guns. Try to burn a little clock. If you can get their Mercy Rule, yes, like you said, Drew. Barrett Uncharacteristic death out of his spot for Barrett. Don't see him die out of his position very often. Shona thinking about moving up into Snake 1. He's edging out, trying to get... Ooh, Morris clipped out crossfield. That was a good kill from Nate. It came from D2.
Aftermath losing their Snake corner player, filling up.
Can't have that. Aftermath had all the good spots here, and now they're going to get unlocked.
Great move by Nate.
That's a 3-pack because he shot the Snake.
Yep.
Still one body left alive. It's Grayson Gladstone here, and Tim's right there to... Oh, and I mean, major penalty is not going to matter. That's just game over. There's no one left to pull. That's the Mercy Rule win here for Infamous.
Love to see it. Good job, Infamous.
Yeah, disappointing game for Aftermath, but man, talk about rising to the occasion. Infamous needed a win to go 2-1, and they needed a big score to help cushion because of the loss to Legion. Now, that was only a 2-point loss, I believe. You know, so heading into and what was your first win by? Yeah, so you guys came in even on the spread.
Right.
It's got to be pretty close to that. So yeah, this is massive for Infamous. They're gonna have gonna go in 2-1. One more game to go though for Infamous, and it's gonna be against Heat. So yeah,
Could be a good one.
Drew, you guys executed exactly what you needed to do. So talk to me a little bit about Paintball Vault, because I think that's a really cool thing that you've brought here into our sport.
Yeah, thanks. So I mean, Paintball Vault's basically just a marketplace for buying and selling paintball gear. So myself, I just talk about my own experiences with this. I spent years, decades, buying and selling gear online through forums or finding people on whatever method you have.
Doing way too much work.
Yeah, doing a lot of work.
Or figure out who has the good stuff.
There's really no recourse for safety. It's you run the risk of maybe getting ripped off or whatever. And with Paintball Vault, it's mitigating a lot of that, making it easier to find stuff and easier to buy, sell, and just conduct yourself as you did before, just in a safe and efficient manner.
Looks like we're going to overtime.
Yeah, so they ended up playing that 6 seconds, and as we talked about, the only thing that could happen in that situation is if you have a major penalty and it's under 60 seconds, it's an immediate swing point, and it would have given the win to a team. So if you're a coach in that situation, you're just yelling at the guys like, hey, just go out and do not get a penalty. Don't get a major. But yeah, so 2 minutes before the start of this overtime point, locked up. 3-3 here. Hurricanes trying to go undefeated. Diesel would love to get this win as they're sitting at 1-1. And Diesel is going to play level next. The Hurricanes are playing damage next. So that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, so with Paintball Vault, so essentially, like for instance, let's take my situation. I have a ton of from my playing career of like all these jerseys. So like my first, like the jersey that was in Push, my excessive, original excessive jersey. I got a couple of those left, and so you have these kind of prime types of collector's items.
Yep.
I can put those up, and then you can also just show them off, like, hey, this is my my badass jersey collection.
That's my favorite part about Paintball Vault. It's like it's not just a marketplace. It's where nerds can go and be like, oh, I want to look up and see who's got an Angel LCD, and then you find an Adrenaline LCD or a Die Angel LCD, and you're like, that's awesome. Is it for sale? No, it's they're just bragging about it.
Yeah. But it's just, I thought you were the perfect guy for that. But that's a good point, because I know that you're a collector.
Yeah.
And you have this amazing gun collection and this jersey collection, and you played top level paintball, so you got all your stuff from all the years that you played on Infamous and all these awesome teams. But it made sense that someone like you would create it, because like you said, you have to go to these forums and figure out who has this, and you get a rumor here, this guy, hey, let me buy this awesome autocock from 1995, and now you can just go to one place where people can either show off their stuff, or you can put offers on stuff, or they'll put prices on it. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that more here, and I got Drew Templeton and Zizek Barrow up here. 5 minutes on the clock, all locked at 3. Who's going to take this game? Diesel.
Hurricanes pushing hard on the Dorito side.
Yeah, Diesel pushing up Kyle Spicka, but Diesel going to be losing Jesse Stevens from Snake 1. I mean, he's looking back at his guy like maybe he got shot in the back.
I think he's looking back to be like, why weren't you down the wire kind of look. It looked like
Yes, he was looking back that there was a mistake made somewhere, but now looks like Mouth's going to get shot out of that back corner bunker, so it is not looking good here for AC Diesel. Just 3 bodies left alive. They're not out wide. They're kind of tucked in the pocket. Yeah, Spicka has some decent forward progression up to the wedge, but it's looking pretty solid here for the Hurricanes.
Kyle's, I mean, I think anyone's going to be a little uncomfortable in that situation because they know that Hurricanes has this. There's somebody in that long snake, and I can't see him crawl to my side.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where he is, but I have to be careful. And he also has to be careful now because there is, good kill here. It's not even on the count yet, but it's now 4-on-3 situation. That's a tough death for the Hurricanes dying off that D side. They do have a body at the 50-yard line D side.
I think Nick just a little ripple here, just not quite sure if there's a wire. I think otherwise he'd be maybe pushing up a little bit more with the player right behind him.
Yeah, with the way that Ripple plays, if he knew that there was no one over here, he's going to be down this side. Mm-hmm. He's a hyper-aggressive guy. He's the most aggressive guy on the Hurricanes. Coming over from Europe, it's a great story, too. He's the best snake player in Europe, and decided to, he has to travel like 14 or 15 hours just to get over here from Germany.
Hurricanes dropped their 50 Dorito guy. And Ripple looks like he's like posted for someone down the wire.
Yeah, I don't think they saw the corner player come out. I know he knows he shot the snake, but beyond that, I don't think he knows he shot the corner died.
That's, again, another tough death because now it's a 3-on-3.
Kyle's got an opportunity for a highway run here. If he goes on the outside and down the highway, looks like he can get a couple. See if he recognizes it.
All three players for the Hurricanes kind of trapped on this snake side.
And Kyle playing it like he knows what Nick should be doing by being on their side, but it's like, but the timing just doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah, so back center for AC, Kyle Sticka at the wedge, and they also have a body in outside D2. And everyone's kind of just playing peekaboo a little bit right now because I think almost everyone is a little uncertain of where their enemies are right now.
And it's overtime, your mistakes are magnified in this point.
Oh, I'm not knocking them. That's not a criticism. It's I'd be doing the same thing right now. Like,
absolutely.
Hey, are you certain? Isaac, are you positive that there's no one in that back corner book? No, I'm not. I don't know if there's a guy back there or not.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Where that? I don't know.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I know there's a guy in the snake. I know that, but I don't know where he is.
Kyle's putting it together, though. You can see him trying to figure it out.
Not sure who that was at backfill, but good fill from AC Diesel to come out this way.
Yeah, making the move over to the door here, snake side. Still checking off on that D side, though. So, again, there's no one alive on the D side with two tough deaths for the Hurricanes over there as they had a 5-on-3. Squandered that opportunity, so now it's a 3-on-3. So better field position on the D side for AC, and then way better field position on the snake side because they actually have two bodies in the snake. So Kyle's going to back for a little bit.
No.
Oh, that's
Not good.
I think that is Nico Hyde. So Nico Hyde losing a gunfight over there.
I don't know. Do you gunfight when you're over there, or you just, stay alive for your team?
Well, you have a minute to work with. If we don't get a winner here in overtime, we will go to one-on-ones. So we're at 60 seconds. It's 2-on-3 in favor of the Hurricanes with that death of Nico Hyde. So, to answer your questions, Isaac, it totally depends on what my opponents are giving me, right? If I don't really want to get in that big of a gunfight. If I have that entire side,
exactly.
I kind of want to wait, bide my time, and then start making moves up to increase that angles, and then get in a higher percentage gunfight for myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to take advantage of having the side, so that comes at, maybe winning the game down that side, but you want to not make the mistake of dying on an
Going
island.
down the Dorito side. Looks like they got Kyle. Yep. And looks like this one's going to be...
So it's just BJ Henningberg left to try to hold off this attack. He's got 20 seconds to work
Got
with
the Dorito
here.
guy.
He got the shot on Bell. But then Nick Ripple having a game out here, clocking in to get that last kill. That is gonna do it here. Was that Henningberg? No, I think that was Ice. That was Mark Baginski. Yeah, that was Mark. So poor Mark Baginski, and he's in a tough spot, right? The D side's completely blown open. He gets that kill, but then that was a really good read and react from Nick Ripple because he had moved up and was able to get that shot on Baginski as he switched over to finish it off and to take that victory. That was a well-played game. Hurricanes, big statement to the league, taking down AC Diesel with that monster all-star lineup. So Diesel now 1-2. And they're in a must-win situation against Level, and they need to put up a score. The Hurricanes undefeated through 3. One more game to go. It is against Tampa Bay Damage. That should be a fun one. That'll be going down at noon in the same set with Heat and Infamous. Yeah, that's a great set. That noon set. Drew, we're having you come back out for that one. So
awesome.
that's a good one that you picked. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Going to take a short break. We'll be back, though. 2023 NXO Windy City Major. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. See you in just a few.